What's up, guys? It's Patricia from tarantulaheaven.com, and today we're going to talk about more weird Spidey stuff. This is Spidey, my Chilean rose hair tarantula. I've had her for over 6 years. I kind of lost count after 5, but I love her to death. But if you follow her blog, you will know that she does a lot of weird stuff, and I'm going to share one of her really weird things today, which is a web burrito. Now, if you're new to my channel, yes, I do share a lot of really weird tarantula stuff that I've observed with my tarantulas, but I also share legit tarantula education and care stuff. So if that's what you're also into, you can subscribe. And you can also sign up for my Tarantula Tuesday newsletter. All the links are in the description below. But let's talk about Spidey's weird stuff. So if you followed Spidey's Tumblr blog, or if you've been following my stuff for a while, whether it's my newsletter, my Facebook page, or anything like that, you will know that Spidey does some weird stuff. In the past, I've done videos about Spidey planking on her ping pong ball, stacking objects on top of each other, laying in her water dish, or getting absolutely obsessed with a part of her tank. And this is because I really love observing. I think that there's still so much that we really don't know about these creatures, so I like to share my observations because I think that that's one of the major ways that we are learning and advancing the hobby is by sharing our observations and our own research with each other. Very often, if Spidey or Blanky are doing something that I don't understand or I don't know what they're doing, I will share it because I love to hear the opinions of other tarantula owners, and I love to get different perspectives on things, and I also want to know if they've experienced this as well. I understand that in this hobby, we're still very much growing, so there's very, very little legit research being done. So I think it's really up to us to share observations and try to make our own meanings out of it. So in this video, I am kind of looking to you guys for answers because this was something that Spidey had done quite a while ago that I just randomly remembered recently, and I still don't have any answers. I haven't seen her do it since, and when I did see her do it, it was over a year ago. I was just as baffled as I am now because I still don't have any answers. So I'm looking to you guys to see what you think is going on. So in this case, so Spidey used to have a small clear tank in her regular enclosure, and this was the feeding tank. We don't have the feeding tank anymore because it's really not necessary. Ever since I switched to roaches and Spidey's had more of an appetite, I had originally used this little tank as an area where I could seclude her food because Spidey had this habit of letting her superworms get away from her, and they would burrow and make the tank all nasty, or she wouldn't be able to eat them. So I would instead put her food in this little plastic tank, and she would go in the tank, and then she would actually be able to find it and eat it. So that was the purpose of that extra little tank in her real tank, and it worked really well. But she would also get obsessed with this little mini tank because she really, I think that tarantulas in general love to be cozy and feel like they're protected and closed in. So she used to just chill in this tank even when there was no food in it, and she would have some substrate in there. She would put her webs in there. So she would just be hanging out in there. But then one day I saw something going on that was a bit different. I saw that she was making a lot of webs. I walked in one day and I saw that Spidey had a lot of webs in this mini tank, and it was not a molting mat. So I was like, what the hell? When I looked closer, it actually looked like she made a web burrito, a very specific rolled up type of web. If your spider has ever done this before, you probably know exactly what I'm talking about, but if you haven't experienced this weird phenomenon, I think a visual is in order. This little burrito artist is about to put Chipotle out of business. Now, unfortunately and heartbreakingly enough, I didn't actually witness her building this web, and I'm so sad that I walked in on it when she was done because I would have loved to see her and actually witness her construct this thing because it's super weird and super kind of intricate too. So I basically caught the aftermath, unfortunately. And I think this is personally fascinating because if you're familiar with tarantulas, tarantula webs are different from spider webs. And so while they do make a variety of webs such as molting mats and just regular webbing, this wasn't like anything I'd ever seen before or even heard of before. In all my tarantula research, I've never seen this type of web before or this type of pattern in web making. It was a cylindrical structure, and it looked like she had kind of webbed her substrate and her web together in this nice enchilada slash burrito pattern and like rolled it up. It was very tightly wrapped up. And she was like obsessed with it. She was like laying with it and stuff. I was just like, what is going on? As you can imagine, I was absolutely baffled and confused and also really impressed. So I took to Tumblr to post the picture and ask people what they thought was going on. And I did get a few different opinions about it, but everyone else kind of seemed just as confused as I was, and like they hadn't seen anything like this either. Some tarantula enthusiasts thought that it might be an egg sac or a false egg sac. And that was actually the first time I actually realized that there was a thing as a false egg sac. And now Spidey has never mated in my care, and I know that she was not pregnant when I got her, so it's definitely not an egg sac. It could have been a false egg sac, except that when I did actually research this, what she had made didn't really look like a false egg sac. So I still didn't really feel like I had any answers, and as the day or two went on, I saw her interacting with this burrito, and then I had even more questions. This web burrito was actually pretty big. It was, I think, bigger than her. And like I said, she was like laying with it. She looked like she was cuddling with it. She was spending time with it. And that's not so odd for Spidey. She does tend to get a little obsessed with certain areas of her tank and tend to get really comfortable in one area and just stay there. But this was like she was very like obsessed with it all of a sudden. And then to make things even more strange, a few hours later, after she made this huge thing, who knows how long it took her, she destroyed it. She tore it apart completely, and that was that. And I was so sad. Like, I really don't know what to say about this, guys. I am 100% lost and so confused. And she hasn't done anything like that since. So I just feel like I have this really strange tarantula incident that I don't know how to explain. It was super cool, and I was really sad when she destroyed it. I don't know why she made it. I don't know how she made it, but I hope that if Spidey ever makes a web burrito again, I hope that I actually get to see her construct it, because I would love to have known how she did this. And I've been trying to search this stuff on Google, but I still haven't come up with anything. So if you have ever seen this in your tarantula or any other tarantula, please let me know, and please share your theories about what you think it is, because I don't know, I'm coming up empty. So I would appreciate more perspective and feedback. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope that at the very least you found this story amusing, and that it kind of gives you a greater perspective of weird tarantula behavior and the kind of strange things that you can expect if you get a tarantula. And if you like this video, please subscribe, and you can get early access to my YouTube videos by subscribing on Patreon and supporting my work. But I hope that you and your spiders or your future spiders have a wonderful week, and I will see you next time. Bye.